This is another poem on feeling whole. It seems to be one of my topics, for whatever reason. This one is titled Avenue B+. They never seem to be good enough to be an Avenue B or Avenue A, so somewhere in the middle there. Avenue B+. Chalk it up to the failure of the pragmatist study group to settle on time or place or text. Be generous, and chalk it up to the 6'2" or 3" mark. The flash flood of debt will never reach here mark. The poem-shaped birthmark on the back wall of my cave. What I thought was sunshine was a really skinny shadow. What I thought was a Pollock, shit smears from the bats. Nature, nurture, culture, pop, culture, spaghetti, spaghettios. For years, no one around here knows where such schemes come from. Out of what bog bobbed up, Pete's egg salad pizza, chicken fingers, bingo gazingo. Then, without warning, some Saul in a bar swears that he knows a guy who knows a guy who lives just around the corner, between A and B somewhere, who can cut us a sweetheart deal on that thing we've desperately been searching for. Wink, wink. Amen. The first book, my first book, it was actually a very nice instrument for me because I got to discover that what I had been searching for was happiness, and that I had actually spent the first 30-some years of my life pursuing the case, making the case against happiness in some weird way, and I got to clarify that with this book. Which I think sometimes it's the best thing that poetry can do, at least for myself. Help me figure things out like that. How to make the case against happiness. Offer it a bribe. Say, happiness, why don't we take the chill ease of this spring day and make something special, you and I. Some demiurgic cocktail to sip as the sirens plunge over the edge of our private peso opera. The future adores its hometown parades, the donkeys on bikes trailing flies, biting flies, fireflies. Suggest fireflies. Say, happiness, I sure like you more now that you're no longer a biomorphic reserve in the developmental leagues. Nice cut, but no turd in the parlor. The enthusiast's dream is a wrapped idol, an escape module fashioned like a second head from government surplus neoprene. Describe one bird you have never seen. Show it to happiness. Say, happiness, these balloons are seized by razor wire, while yonder burgles a mortgaged wind. We'll give you one chance to make it swing. And I think the swinginest place that I found recently has to be Brighton Beach. Brighton Beach. Russian girls at the grocery sniffing the tins of coffee. Their tracksuits are new with fresh yellow swooshes. Oh, goddess of the country-style breakfast. Oh, ambition. Oh, mortal dread. The day whooshes by like a comic strip, in which I blink my eyes at the thought bubble lighting up. It takes 3 whole frames to expose me standing at the registered daydreaming of Ugo Betti and the Balkans, and a taste of something lemony, like fresh lemonade. The natural world. A brunette in a green dress is a part of the natural world. Also, a dragonfly in a subway car. It is a part of the natural world. To be startled while underground and thus to windmill one's arms wildly while emitting shrieks and wild cries, or to catch 2 sets of translucent wings in a plastic sack and then to release them whole. These are natural actions, and as such, they belong to the natural world. The natural world surrounds us, but we can never see it entire. You are a part of nature as I am a part of the natural world, but we are not a part of one another, except as we both belong to the natural world. We relate to one another as the bee relates to the flower. We relate to one another as waves relate to the beach, sunlight to the sidewalk, wind to the cat's whiskers. The bee on the flower on the bluff above the beach feels the waves coming in through a sort of vibration in the short hairs of its body. The cat lounges in the entrance to an alley. We wake up, get dressed, then set about making a day of it. This sort of thing is natural. I feel that you are out there somewhere, acting the way you act and feeling something as well. I don't know just what you are feeling, but I know the feeling is natural. It is a part of the natural world. It is said, conversely, that the supernatural is not a part of the natural world, but rather some inexplicable thing that guides and shapes nature according to an ideal agreement. It hangs like a flimsy nightshirt over the natural world, though not precisely. The supernatural cannot be experienced except obliquely. Encountered in shadows, in dreams, it exists outside of nature, on the other side of the fence, just over the bluff, around the bend in the road. For some, it is the treat one gets after finishing the natural world. For others, to embrace the supernatural is, by definition, to act naturally. I like the second idea best. We live our lives in nature, where to define remains a natural act, as definitions too are a considerable part of the natural world. Consider shame, guilt, or suicidal despair. These we shall call unnatural feelings, and by so naming them, strive to eliminate that undesirable sense of wonder which singles out some natural experience, a death of a friend, say, or unexpected failure, cancer, say, as being so wholly beyond our mortal understanding we are obliged to kneel in awe, often alone, mute, and frightened, simply because we cannot understand.